going to stop smoking, get fit, eat properly, clean the house, be more tolerant of others.
Seed clouds.
Seed clouds. Tomorrow? The next day? Tomorrow would work for cloud seeding, wouldn't it? Right before the Olympic Games opening ceremony? Anyway, most of us are guilty of procrastination at some point, but according to Craig Harper, it is just a bad habit that can be broken.
Good morning, Craig.
How does your mind work? It's busy in there. It's like a bloke on a unicycle juggling 19 balls wearing a big yellow wig.
Well, it's Wayne's fault. Wayne, the pilot, has filled my head full of all of this seeding stuff, and it's fascinating.
Interesting.
Interesting. You couldn't afford a razor there, Craig?
No, I'm going for the kind of hirsute, sexy. I need something. I need like a Heath Ledger mask, or I don't know. I got nothing. This is it.
Wear one of those shirts with, you know, like the waffle. Oh goodness. Wear one of those.
You're showing a bit of leg.
Sorry. Wear a waffle shirt with, you know, it's got cutouts so you can show your abs.
Right. I might just have something with my pecs on display and put everyone off their porridge.
Is this how you change your life, Craig?
No, not really. No, I do my very best.
Why is it? Trying to get onto topic here.
Shall we?
Why is it that we all know somebody that has managed to change their life? We all know someone, but we don't necessarily...
Who's done amazing. The interesting thing is...
we don't necessarily do it ourselves.
Well, we all want amazing, don't we? We all want amazing lives, an amazing body, amazing health, amazing relationships, but we seem to constantly do mediocre. And what we do creates what we get.
Are we happy with mediocre? We must be. We whinge about life being...
What's wrong with mediocre?
Well, mediocre's okay if that's your standard and if that's what you want. But if I had a room of 100 people and I said, put up your hand if you want mediocre, no one puts it up. Right. If I say, put up your hand if you want amazing, everyone goes, I want amazing. And then I say, well, what are you prepared to do to get it? And they go, oh, not much. You know, so it's really about... what are we prepared to do to get where we want to go, and consciously creating and managing our best life, because so many of us pretty much get up today and do what we did yesterday, even though yesterday wasn't particularly terrific.
But we know those people that have changed their lives and have had a defining moment. What typically do you reckon is the catalyst for that defining moment?
Well, there's a trigger, isn't
I think everyone gets to a point where they just react, they just cope, they just start to use their potential. So many people spend so much of their life not using what they've got. Like, we all know the person who's been diagnosed with a disease and all of a sudden they do more living in 2 years than they've done in 45 years because they go, geez, I better get the most out of it, and they create great relationships and they become passionate and dynamic. And the interesting...
So is it a life-threatening moment that causes the slap?
Well, I think it's just a mental and an emotional shift, and it's caused by different things for different people. Every day we can get up and say, I want a fabulous life. I want great relationships, great career, great health. I want great conversations every day. And we have that choice to get out of bed and do it. Like, if we get up every day and we go, geez, my back's sore and, oh, it's only going to be bloody 16 degrees in Melbourne today and I'm not... Oh, shit. It's going to be a shocking day. And it's not because the day's shocking. It's not because of situations or circumstances. It's because of the attitude we take into it. And I know that sounds a little bit cheesy, but it's absolutely true that we have that choice to get up and go, today will be a good day because I'm going to make it that way.
Well, how do we make the difference? I mean, how do we move from...
How do we artificially do it then if we don't have a life-altering
Well, it's
moment?
not artificial because we don't really live in the world. We live in our head, right? This is our reality in here, isn't it?
Deep.
Right? Because you and I, well, that's where we live. If you and I go through the same situation or circumstance, we don't necessarily have the same experience, do we? Because I might go into a situation that's quite difficult and confronting, and I come away and I go, what a great lesson that was. And you go, what a pain in the arse that was. I hated everything.
As you age, you're getting sadder.
Yeah, because you go into the process and you take away from it what it represents to you. So all I'm saying is, you know, let's get to the point where we go, well, where am I going to be in 1, 2, 5 years? What do I want for my life? What do I want for my body, for my health, for my relationships, for my marriage, for my family, for my career, for my finances? And what do I need to do today? What do I need to change about me today? What decisions do I need to make? What action do I need to take to stop procrastinating? Because, you know, in a minute, we're all going to wake up, we're going to be 5 years older, and we're going to go, I didn't actually plan on being here.
But it's amazing in that situation where something that seemed like such a big effort at the time becomes not negotiable.
Totally. And we've spoken about non-negotiable behaviours before.
Setting yourself some rules.
Absolutely. And sometimes things that are really difficult, all of a sudden circumstances change, it's not difficult at all. And it's a matter of going, well, I don't have an option now, so I'm going to do it. Like the guy who... I worked with a guy recently who just couldn't stop eating rubbish, couldn't get disciplined and controlled with his lifestyle, got diagnosed with diabetes and became the most controlled, disciplined, best attitude individual on the planet in 24 hours, in fact, in 24 minutes. Why? Because he had some news, he had a huge emotional and psychological shift, and our psychology and our emotional state determines our physiological state largely. So when we get this right, we get this right. When we get this right, we get a lot of other things right in our life.
So what happened to him, therefore, was he was told the consequences of not taking action?
Absolutely, and it's pleasure and pain. Every decision that we make is in an effort to avoid pain or gain pleasure.
But it's true to say that as a you know, a race,
yes,
we do as much as we need to do.
Totally.
Until he gets the bad diagnosis, he's going, hey,
That's exactly right. We're addicted to comfort. We're creatures of habit, we're creatures of comfort, but the reality is where the great stuff comes is going through the discomfort, where the learning happens, where the growth, the evolution, the development, and where the joyride is when we do the tough stuff. Just like if you get into the gym and you don't get uncomfortable, your body doesn't adapt. Well, in life, in relationships, in career, if we don't get uncomfortable, we don't learn, we don't get those lessons, we don't gain strength, we don't adapt, we don't become better. And it's not about living in pain and misery, it's about doing the things that we need to do but don't necessarily want to do. And the principles that we learn through creating a good body in the gym, we can apply those same principles to every area of our life, because it's about becoming effective decision makers and doing the tough stuff. And stop procrastinating, stop waiting for the right time, because it doesn't come.
And I guess be realistic, because there are some things that you just simply cannot change. You're not going to change your genetics, your looks.
Well, I'm not going to run 100 metres in 8.5 seconds, doesn't matter how focused and disciplined I am, but it's a matter of taking a sensible, realistic, pragmatic mindset into our life and going, where do I want my life to be in 1 to 5 years, and what am I going to do today? I'm not going to wait anymore. What
do you think's the biggest the biggest negative in people's lives that weighs them down? Is it job dissatisfaction? Is it unhappy in relationships? Is it unhappy physically?
Great question. Great question. The biggest thing that holds us back is how we think about ourselves, how we see ourselves. We limit us. My biggest hurdle is me. Same with you guys. Your biggest hurdle is you.
Well, and my biggest hurdle's often here.
Well, that's true. But enough about your personal life. Once we get over us...
Yeah, it was funny.
Once we get over us, we can do pretty much anything. You know, and the thing is that our perception of what we can do becomes our reality. But our potential is largely untapped, and as soon as we're pushed to it, we find all this ability that we've never actually used, and that's the thing that excites me.
You are good.
I do what I can.
You are good.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll bring Australia. Come to the workshops.
Come to his workshop. Thank you, Craig. We're out of time.
Thanks for having me.
See you soon. We'll be back after this.